This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and today we are here to test out or try out the new built for sim racing SBC-1 Simboots by IMB Racewear. I recently was able to try out the sim racing gloves by IMB Racewear, and I've been using them ever since, to be honest with you. And also ever since that review, the guys at IMB Racewear, they've been teasing me with their sim racing boots, and they asked me if I want to try out a pair, and I thought, custom boots for me? Heck yeah, I want to try them out. Wait, hold the phone. Did he just say sim racing in shoes? And yes, I did. So before you go writing into the comments that sim racing should be done in the socks, and I feel like every time I cover heavy duty pedals or sim racing boots, I have to cover this. If you're out there and you're on a potentiometer based brake pedal for the most part, or pedal set, well, chances are racing in socks is going to do wonderful for you, and it would probably be my go-to as well. Now, if you've stepped up to a load cell brake or a hydraulic brake pedal, well, chances are the amount of force it takes, you might be more comfortable, you might be more consistent in a pair of shoes. So I'm not here to tell you whether you should or shouldn't race in sim shoes. I'm telling you, you should make the best choice that works for you. Now back to the show. So I once again sent off my logos to the IMB team, and I told them to surprise me with a design that showed off their capabilities. Now normally if someone was going to order a pair of SBC-1s, they'd go to their website, and there you would find the price for the custom boots to be 69 British pounds, which works out to be about 98 US dollars. The SBC-1 Simboots feature a leather and mesh type covering and are built in a high top style shoe with a combination of laces along with a Velcro ankle strap for closure. And the shoes, like the gloves, are completely customizable. They have 8 different regions or zones that can be done in your choice of suede, coming in red, blue, orange, bright and dark green, or black, and can also be made with smooth leather that is painted in just about any color under the sun. And that also allows for extra custom printing on those smooth painted leather surfaces. So you could add things like your logo, your driver name, your car number, or flag of origin. When ordering a pair of the SBC-1 boots, they're available in 17 different sizes, spanning from a 32 or size 1 in America, all the way up to a size 48 or a 14 in the States. So when I got my SBC-1 boots in the mail, I had no idea what they were going to look like. I had told the guys at IMB I want them to match the gloves so we sort of have that team look going, but I had no idea their final concept. And when I opened the box, I got to tell you, I was blown away. Here is my actual reaction when I opened the box for the first time. And then here come... cool is that, you guys? Look at that. Look at that. It's got the Simpit, it's got my number, it's got my name, it's got an American flag. Look at these. So let's go ahead and take a look at the IMB Racewear SBC-1 Simboot performance racing shoes and some of their main features. Like I said, it is a boot, or it is a high top style racing shoe. It all starts at the sole of the shoe. It is made of a nice sticky rubber with a perfectly flat pattern, free of any significant lines or grooves to get caught up on the pedal face or edges. This sole extends over the heel and onto the back of the shoe in a rounded fashion for a smooth articulation of the ankle. Moving up from the sole to the main portion of the shoe, we can see that also, like typical driving shoes, that there is very little cushioning or buildup in the heel. The upper portion of the boot is made of multiple different materials and patterns. Certain areas that need more strength are covered in either leather or suede, depending on what you ordered. This includes the heel, the toe, the lower sides, the shoelace area or top, and then the tongue of the shoe itself. These patterns or sections of leather are all nicely double stitched. In the middle, both the inner and outer sides of the shoe have a nice breathable mesh with an IMB Racewear logo embroidered into it. The upper portion for the laces have metal eyelets, making the laces loosen and tighten easily and prevents any wear that occurs on punched hole only leather shoes. As a boot or a high top racing shoe, it does extend up over the ankle. The tongue of the shoe is also made of the leather material and is very wide to cover any contact of the lace area by your foot. Beyond the laces and above the ankle, there's also an upper ankle strap to secure the shoes. The inside of the boots are covered in a soft fabric in black, and there's a nice amount of cushioning on the entire upper interior of the shoe. The interior bottom of the shoe is again fairly flat with just a hint of arch bulge, but very little padding under your foot. The SBC-1 Simboot is very light considering that it is a high top shoe. My pair, in a size 42, weighed in at 10.4 ounces or about 300 grams. You can see what makes them light, as the layers of leather are very thin, but IMB Racewear has doubled up the material in high friction areas. It also has the breathable mesh that covers the mid portion of the shoes, also keeping them light and airy. In the areas of customization, you can see mine are done in the Simpit orange with black and white accents. We have a nice Simpit logo on the toe, along with my car number on the heel, and a Simpit logo in the middle of both the inside and outside of the boot. There's another Simpit logo on the tongue of the shoe, and then it also has my name and flag printed into the ankle strap. These are definitely my shoes. Now when you go to put them on your feet is when we get our first sensation of the comfort and fit of the SBC Simboots, and it starts with them having a pretty good open entry for a high top boot. This is from the relief on the heel, and because the laces only restrict entry up to a normal shoe height, with the easy to close Velcro strap finishing the task. If you are accustomed to athletic shoes, you will immediately notice that they're flatter, less support, and less cushioning under your feet than those types of shoes. They are more of an open air feel inside. Depending on the type of shoe we're talking about, I normally wear somewhere between a size 8.5 and a size 9. So in the case of the SBC-1 boots, I ordered a size 42 or an American size 9. This ended up being the right size for me, but did leave a little extra room in the toe area. The length and width are spot on, but the overall tightness is a little bit looser. The shoes are comfortable, and that interior cushioning is adequate to make sure the shoe feels good around my foot. I didn't feel any seams or overlaps, and there were no spots that rubbed me wrong. Once on my feet, certain spots of the shoes felt a bit stiff. This is where the leather is, and has already started to loosen up after more wear. Yes, these shoes will definitely take some time to break in, and I gotta tell you, walking around in these shoes, like many other driving shoes I have, is about their worst feature. They are not built for walking around looking cool. They are built for racing, and that takes us to the moment that we get in our rig and we have our feet up on the heel plate. The shoes roles switch from standard footwear to racing equipment, and this is when the comfort should be best judged. The heel area padding becomes very critical, as they will be supporting the entire weight of our legs. The SBC-1 boots have a great heel padding that is smooth and has no spots that cause discomfort. That looser fit in the toe area allows my toes to move around at the front of the boot while resting on my heels. My toes aren't just floating around, and at the same time, they aren't being compressed at all. I can wear these boots for hours while driving, and my feet will still feel great. When it comes down to pedal operation, this is where I'll be most critical of a pair of footwear intended for sim racing. I use a very heavy-duty set of pedals. My Ricmotech pedals feature a hydraulic brake that takes a monster amount of pressure to operate. Shoes on my feet are essential, and how they grip or slide on the pedals is very important to me. The SBC Simboot did a great job on my gas pedal, which I do require certain things. I want a shoe that won't get hung up on the gas pedal or on the edges with any funny lines or grooves on the bottom of the shoe. And at the same time, I want the shoe to be able to slide along the gas pedal as I apply it without sticking when I release it quickly. I have other shoes where strange patterns on the bottom of the shoe can interfere with my pedal operation, but the SBC-1 worked perfectly. I also did a bit of heel and toe driving as well. This action really tests the shoe's ability to do several things at one time. You need enough flexibility to operate 2 pedals with your right foot, blipping the throttle on downshifts. Shoes that are too stiff can make this more difficult. A shoe that is too large or has rough edges can make the fine movements difficult, and the SBC-1 managed this task as though it was its job. Well, I guess it is the boot's job. I could easily roll my foot outward for those blips and not have an added friction preventing that movement. I suppose the highest compliment that I could give a piece of hardware or any piece of equipment would be to say that I didn't have to think about it. Funny how when everything is working best, you can focus on just hitting your marks. I was immediately driving in comfort. I was doing all my footwork without spending any extra energy or concentration on my pedals. That is exactly what I want, or for that matter, demand from a pair of sim shoes. The SBC-1 hit all the marks. So for my review, I wanted to wear these shoes enough for them to wear in a little bit, and there are a few reasons for that. Again, I do mention the leather is a little bit stiff, so I wanted to see if it did soften up a little bit, and I also want to see if it maintained that luster. And that is where I have a little bit of a conflict. These painted areas are my favorite part of the shoe. I mean, look at them. But at the same time, it made the leather feel a little bit cheaper and a little bit stiffer, and I think the suede would feel a little bit more high quality. And over time, I do think these will loosen up a little bit, but that comes back to my next concern, which is that they will scuff. It's just a painted surface, and you can see I already have a scuff or two on the toe of the shoe. Now with that said, every time I put the shoes on, they do get more comfortable. So breaking them in is part of the process, and I think they will only continue to get better. And when it comes down to the feet on the pedals, they perform perfectly as driving shoes, giving me the advantages that a driving shoe gives you over any other type of shoe or socks for that matter. And as far as the scratches go, well, you know what? If you don't wear them outside, it's gonna happen a lot less. And like I said, they are the worst fashion shoes, the worst walking shoes you're possibly gonna get. These are driving shoes made for sitting in your rig, and you shouldn't scuff them up too much under those circumstances. So the other factor is cost. I think about the cost of this pair of shoes coming in at 98 US dollars, 69 British pounds. And I think about that and how it compares to other driving shoes. And I know that you can get other driving shoes or pit lane style shoes like the Goodyear Ori or throttles that I've tested for about 60 bucks. So this does make them about 50% more expensive than those type shoes. But look at these shoes, they're completely custom. And we also know that a pair of Sparco high-end shoes can go for as much as 500 bucks. So these are relatively on the inexpensive side of driving shoe prices, and when I consider for under 100 bucks completely customized shoe, I'd actually say they're downright cheap or inexpensive, certainly affordable for most of us sim racers. So as the esport world of our industry explodes, it's a no-brainer that you're going to see more things like customized shoes, boots, jerseys, things like that, because those teams are going to want that uniform look that makes a team a team, that gives you that branding opportunity that is needed when you're up on that stage. And for a lot of us sim racers who are spending more and more on our sim rigs each year, buying that new, latest, greatest high-end piece of gear, well, maybe it's time you treat yourself to a new pair of shoes. Or maybe this is the video that you should definitely show your significant other, because wouldn't this make the coolest sim racing gift in the history of the world? So if you'd like to get more information on these shoes or these gloves and how to customize your own version, go to IMBRacewear.com and you can check it out for yourself and be sure to let them know that we sent you. I hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can find out when we have our latest release. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.